Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we have with us our dear doctor, but there have been several reports about the ongoing deadly coronavirus and Lassa fever spreading like wildfire. Report has it that the coronavirus originated from China, I think it's Wuhan, in Wuhan city, while the Lassa fever from Nigeria is between the January 1st and 19th. We have recorded about 163 confirmed cases and 24 deaths on Lassa fever across the country. Now, how do we begin to prevent this issue of Lassa fever spreading like wildfire and preventing those who are coming in from China with the possibly coronavirus? As I said earlier, we have with us our dear health expert, Dr. Tuyi Mebawondu. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Before we go into the issue of Lassa fever, I know you heard our conversation on this matter of the standard verdict that the Supreme Court that was given earlier. What are your general thoughts on this issue?
Thank you. I've done quite a lot of reflection on marriage and marriage institutions. I sincerely believe that marriage institutions need fundamental reforms. Quite a lot of things is happening in the world that has been reformed. A lot of it has been reformed in the world. But marriage institution has been left without fundamental reform. A reform that can ensure happiness, protect everything concerned with the marriage institution. And for me, I was considering, is it possible to put an expiry date to marriage certificate and a renewal clause?
Background. I know this one before.
An expiry date and renewal clause in such a way that if I am very happy about the marriage, I will keep my marriage and then renew it.
No. Let me ask
you. No. You see, and now.
Our prenups also provide for who takes custody per side. Because with the sign prenup for property, we know they sign prenup for custody.
These are issues. What reform? You need to really think about reform because quite a lot of people are not happy in marriage.
Yes.
They just act on, okay? And it's going to get worse. You see all sorts of breaking down of marriages. So the question is that if anything in life can expire, why should marriage not expire before?
It's
okay,
not.
This is radical.
It's not biblical.
No. Here we go.
Let's discuss coronavirus.
Is it biblical?
This is what you are to be beaten.
Yeah, is it biblical to have to
to
kill your spouse? Is it biblical to abuse your children? So many things are not biblical. And then if we don't situate it with the reform going on in the world, with reform going on in society, and we said, okay, well, you know what, this cannot be touched, then enjoy your pain. Enjoy your pain.
You said, it's something we have to bring up another day to make it up a topic. But let's go back to this issue of Lassa fever and coronavirus. Please, you talk about Lassa fever all the time. We hear it every single time. I'd like you to start with coronavirus. Why should we feel threatened? Should we feel threatened as is ravaging China right now?
Again, everybody must be worried. The other time here, I mentioned that these germs are mutating. Now, before 21st century, the best is the group of coronavirus, the best they can do is give common cold and no problem. But by 21st century, we've seen them bringing SARS, severe acute respiratory syndrome. We've seen the germ mutated and brought out MERS, Middle East respiratory syndrome. We've seen H1N1. Now we've seen coronavirus. It's the same virus mutating, changing, and bringing all those things. So now, how did this start? A market in China, Wuhan region. They bring live animals, trading, and live animal. So the experience, because that's where the spark comes up. A germ jumps from a domesticated or wild animal to human, and then get transmitted to another human. Look and check how this epidemic started. That's how the China they were considering probably a snake. The germ jumped from that animal. Chinese people can eat all sorts of animals.
Yes.
The thing jumped from one person and jump into from the animal and jump into human being, and then even as at now, the detail of transmission, we don't know. The incubation period, we don't know. These are just speculations. Anybody saying maybe some people are saying it's between 1 and 14 days. Now the question is that when is the germ most contagious? When is it most contagious? Is it few days after infecting person, because like measles now, it's usually 4 days or 2 to 4 days before, after infection. Is it when the germ has infected person and now showing the contagiousness gets improved? Or is it like Ebola where it gets worse as the germ progresses? We don't know.
No details.
Now, so now we've seen it's jumped from about 15 countries now. More than 8,000 people affected, more than 80 deaths, mainly in China. So it's a huge challenge. And it comes to the fact that, yes, for those people that believe the world will end one day, I've created a scenario how the world is going to end. A germ will jump and affect so many people. That's a possibility. Especially a very virulent germ will just jump and cause problem.
There are many movies about it.
Yeah. Then the second thing is that a natural disaster can so happen. A synchronized natural disaster can happen and destroy fire here, tornado there, earthquake there.
And everything goes down.
The third scenario is that, a big asteroid can just hit the earth.
And everything will splash, scatter.
So let's bring it home, sir. We have our own Lassa fever here.
Oh no, before we go to Lassa while the fear it's already gotten into the United States, and I just came back on Friday.
Did I hug you?
I came back on Friday and I passed through the airport and I wasn't checked. All of us walked through. So I wanted to confirm, do we know how to identify if there's a carrier, and can somebody just by walking by, because I want to assume that they had this machine there that as I just walked, they've seen that I have nothing. But I doubt it. I think it's more like those ones that they'll check temperature and all of that. So what's the process before coming into the country, and what should they have done, and what do you think we are doing enough to protect Nigerians from corona?
What we should be thinking of, what I call, exit and entry check. Now, we must be able to relate with the countries of high, prevalence now, high incidence now, like China and co. I said that, please, can you help us assist to check people that may likely have this coronavirus? We need to have that health agreement. It will help us a lot. Then when we get here, because if you say that if you run fever, let's check you. By the time you even, the stress of flights can even give you fever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then even if you have to quarantine people, how many people can you quarantine in Nigeria? Where are the facilities to quarantine in Nigeria? Coronavirus is there, Lassa virus is there, other diseases are there. Where are the hospitals? We can't build hospital in 5 days like China did. So again, it's still fair that we look at it and, what triage. Triage is a triage is...
Because you just painted a picture of doom.
No, it's not doom. No, it's not doom. It's not doom. We triage. Okay, the point is this. You are coming from so place. Are you coming from a country where this thing is raging?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have this fever? Let's check you. And then we make the preparation and try to do as much as possible. But what is more important is the fact that we need to sit down and look at what we must do inside Nigeria. Not just...
That takes us to Lassa fever.
Not just about corona, but also Lassa fever.
Yeah.
Back to our own that is local here. Over 9 states now have recorded cases, and the National Center for Drugs for Disease Control is saying that we are having more cases happening and deaths. What exactly are we doing, considering that there's only one center for Lassa fever in Edo State? I don't know why they put it there. In Edo State. Though only that one center to cater for the entire 36 states that we have in Nigeria. How efficient is that alone?
In Lagos,
there are about 5.
But for Lassa,
there are 5 or so.
Lassa fever.
There are 5.
You have Lagos, Abuja.
Now, Lassa fever is a very embarrassing repeat to the country. It's a very embarrassing, and quite disgraceful repeat. It's a pointer to a lot of things that is wrong with not just health system, with our environment, agriculture, poverty, health system, education. Because you see, unless you try to look at this thing in that spectrum, we won't be able to deal with it. But it's just like saying that, okay, for every week at a certain point, or every year at a certain point, somebody will come, break my door, and take something away. I know that it's coming, the person is going to come.
I'm not prepared.
And I'm just looking at, okay, when it comes, I said ringing bell, emergency operation center. So, because what happens? We have, like I said, the spark happens, the germ jumps from a rat to a human being, okay, and then the germ now uses human being to spread the germ, the disease. Now, usually the announcement is in the hospital. You have to look for a health center or hospital to announce the arrival of Lassa this year.
Again, the provision of kits. No. 6 doctors have been confirmed to have died from this.
Oh, 6? Okay.
No, 6 health workers. I think one doctor.
One doctor died.
Okay, what exactly are we doing to provide kits for these people?
It still boils down to the system I'm talking about. Okay, because number one, there are, the prevention personal protection equipment, that they standardized personal protection equipment. But we know for everything that we standardize, once there's corruption in it, the standard will not work.
Corruption in this matter.
Oh, of course there is, because you see that people will tell you that I cannot get the kit. And then now, someone come, emergency, that you need to really attend to the person. Somebody will write a card. That's a contact. Somebody, you sit with some people, that's another contact. We will send a doctor, that's another contact. Look at that kind of instance. The woman needed a surgery, an urgent surgery to save the baby, and multiple contacts. And of course, the thing blew from there. Now, until we look at this thing from that point and say that, listen, there's a poverty challenge here, one, because some people even eat the rats, okay? Secondly, there's educational challenge. We're not getting to discuss this thing at a local level as much as possible. Then we're not saying that, okay, an environmental challenge, because the real thing is that we must be able to do a surveillance, because the first thing is surveillance, even among those animals, among those rats, and pick them and look, what is the population of those rats?
So, sir, I know that the World Health Organization is in collaboration with other agencies are trying to see if they can get a vaccine. This has been ongoing for over a year now. Is there hope? And is it possible that this Lassa fever, anyone who contacts it, can be cured?
Again, there's no hopeless situation. It's just our desire to want to ensure that the hope.
So is there a vaccine on this?
No vaccine. They're working on the vaccine. And then, interestingly, Lassa fever, 80% of the people may not even show symptoms. Good. It's just the 20% and then 1% that is bad that becomes a problem. But again, it becomes important because these germs could be...
But the entire 80 can transfer. They can transmit this.
The body can take care of them, but what we know is that inside the mice can actually excrete the virus for the rest of its life.
Paper.
So what's the complication?
Again, now we've come to another... The thought of human being is always that, okay, you are doing, let's kill. By the time you kill...
another animal would become a carrier.
Obviously. And those things will mutate. We need to look at holistic...
Let me take this call from Tuyi and I'll come to you, because we need to find exactly what the solution is going to be. Tuyi, are you there?
Morning. Good morning.
Hello, Tuyi, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, please. First of all, I will want to respond on the first thing you said today.
Go ahead.
About the woman that killed the husband.
Yes, go ahead.
Just like you said, people need to manage the anger. What you said something. If a man bites a dog, it's a news.
Yes.
If a dog bites a man, it's not news. The woman has killed the husband. We are talking about anger. For me, it's not anger, it's premeditated.
Yes.
By the time you pick up an object and kill somebody, you planned it. It's not just a mistake. What was the knife doing on your side? You planned it. Then on the Lassa fever, doctor, please, I don't know if you will is it possible, at least in Lagos, to clear all the rats that I see in Lagos?
Is it
all the
rats or to clear with?
In Lagos, is it possible for these rats to be cleared? You see, you are talking about Lassa fever. How many hospitals do we have? Where can we go? We are just at the mercy of God. God is just protecting us.
So God.
It's just God that's...
Thank you very much, Tuyi. I'm saying, because based on what the doctor is saying, I don't know what else to do. But go ahead, let me let you respond to him.
Again, first and foremost, the best we can do is to avoid contact with these animals as much as possible.
Okay.
Now, environmental cleaning, personal hygiene, and keeping your food safe, and then reporting appropriately when you fall sick. So the cheapest out of all this is to do your personal hygiene and keep your environment clean. Now, so when you see an environment where you see dirt, rats, chicken, dogs, pigs competing on top of a dustbin, expect a disease. You can't run away from that. So the first thing is that we need to raise the standard in care. We need to raise standard in ensuring that we have a clean environment as much as you can do, even from your cockroaches to rats and you need to raise
quickly,
standard.
Quickly, please. You know, you mentioned that someone can actually have this virus for the rest of their life.
The animals.
Yes, no.
A human being.
A carrier. You know, for those that don't show the symptoms.
80%.
We have the 80% that will likely have it, but they won't show symptoms. I wanted to find out the implication of having that virus and you're not showing symptoms and you have it for the rest of your life.
This is what happened. The human body can deal with the 80%. The human body can deal with the virus.
Okay.
You understand? No, it's not. You are not going to be a life carrier because even if during quarantine, you just do double incubation period.
Okay.
You know, like 42 days. You know, so that you say, okay, the person is good.
It's free to go.
Okay, free to
so
go.
Your immune system is built up
to
fight.
It's
deal
horrible
with it.
when it
And even
early.
by the time you get a tablet, there's a particular tablet you can use to actually
to strengthen.
to
Okay,
deal
let me
with
take
it.
Hassan. Hassan, are you still there? Hassan, are you still there? Hello, Hassan. I think we lost that call.
Doctor,
Ready to respond to this question. Adebayo says cats and owls have a bad rap with religious folks in our country, and it will be death for us all. You want Lassa fever contained, and we're killing the natural predators that keep the population of rats and other rodents in check. Leave cats and rats and owls alone, religious folks. How does that?
The owls and the cats. Yes.
You know, there was the spread of bubonic plague came from this kind of religious superstition. Because you see, for me, I'm allergic to a few things. I can't stand superstition. I can't stand ignorance.
Ew.
I can't stand, you know, because again, if you cannot bring it down to proper explanation, I won't listen to you. You understand? So we need to raise a mind to that level because this was what happened during the bubonic plague. They saw cats, especially black cats, as problems. They were killing cats. The natural predator of rats grew. Rat brought, like from China again, from that secret room, and brought bubonic plague to Europe and wiped more than half of the population of Europe.
So,
you know, in fact, when the thing got to Paris, the Bishop of Bath, just across the canal, was organizing prayer warriors. Of course, he didn't enter London and kill half of them.
so it's not about praying.
It's not about praying. So there are science behind this thing that we must all, you know, sincerely face. And so that, listen, Lassa fever is here. Our health system is not optimal.
So let's get rats.
What I'm going to
Let's get cats.
No. What I'm going to do is because cats has its own problem also. You have to let me then raise the standard of my hygiene. Let me clean my house. Let's keep talking about it. If you have illness, don't just self-medicate. So these are some of the things that we can do. Okay, look at that coronavirus. I don't see any reason why, for instance, in Nigeria, the cheapest thing is that everybody will talk about it. This virus can enter Nigeria. We do business with China every time. You know, if you are going to go to public place, buy a face mask and cover your. What is the big deal?
Sir, our hospitals.
Let me take this call from Martha and I'll come to you. Martha, are you still there?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I want to talk about the issue of Sandra, the
Go
woman
ahead.
that murdered her husband.
Yeah, it's your
She has
view.
been passing through depression. I've been in a marriage for good 11 years, and I've been passing through this same problem. Not until last year, when I get angry and left the house, left the children and go away. So people keep calling me, consider the children. I keep on telling them, if I'm in that house and they hit me something and I die, what did you want me to do? Because in May, I was pushed out with my loads, with beatings, stabbed at the back, bite, everything. In September, the same thing. November, I was punched at the face. For 33 good hours, my eyes was closed and it was bleeding. So how do we manage this anger? they are talking about. I don't know how to manage it. I don't know. Maybe you people will tell me how to manage it or to give way, because I heard somebody saying we should just go for part-time break. And I believe I need it. But family keep on saying, manage it, stay there, consider children.
You need a break. And you need professional help.
Thank you very much, Martha, for sharing your views. We totally, I mean, this is not something we can discuss over the phone right now. It's something we need to, a lot of women are going through this and they need help. We're going to try to bring in professionals on the show to help us discuss how to handle these situations, especially when children are involved and family pressure is asking you to think about the kids. All right, so we have to finally
ask a question. So there's a drug that's supposed to use. Do you, based on your knowledge, do we have enough of these drugs in all the hospitals that are within the areas where this is really endemic?
I'm sure government is trying to take as much drug as possible. But of course, if the spread keeps growing like this, you will not be able to meet up even with personal protection equipment or even drugs. So the first thing is that we need to spot and stop the spread.
And how can we do that? How can people watching now protect themselves?
You know, personal hygiene.
Personal hygiene matter is...
My sister, no, it's not nebulous. It's clear, you know. Now, I've been here now. I've encountered people. I'm going to go to my house office or whatever. I have to wash my hand first. That's basic. I have to wash my hand. Right. And in my house, you know, my bins, they are kept well. They are properly kept and covered.
What I do in my own... yes.
My food are protected. Yes. Yes. If I see any rat, I have to find a way to kill the rat.
Yeah.
Okay?
What I do is that,
these are just
for easy examples, when you buy food, especially those in the wraps, I put them in either you put in a container, a sealed container, or you can in a Ziploc. Make sure your food, all the food you have in your pantry are properly protected. So it's not they're exposed to possible rats. Then your trash, for example, what I do, I buy that yellow and black. I've always said it here. That yellow and black, the whole pack is about 650 naira for the inside, like 100 in the pack. You buy it, and that's what you use to put all your trash. You're done, you seal it. You trash is in a big trash outside, and make sure the one outside is covered. So those are little things you can do because we don't want to see where there are rats coming around, and that's an indication of possible disease.
I wanted to ask quickly, hospitals, are they equipped to test? You know, anytime you go to the hospital, they run tests. We always get malaria and typhoid. If you have Lassa fever, for instance, and you go there and because I think the symptoms are almost the same, cold and fever and all of that, are we equipped to even identify? Detect.
Well, again, high index of suspicion at the level of the medical practitioner. Now, what you do is that you run a test, and of course, sometimes diagnosis of exclusion. Now, you run a test, no typhoid, no malaria, no any other thing. You just see some funny blood picture, and you said, okay, wait a minute. Well, maybe the person has taken some anti-malaria and is not getting well. You know, so, okay. At that point, you have to send to center where they can do the test. And there are not many in Nigeria. Before it used to be 2, I think there are about 4 or 5 now. So that your suspicion, you have to. But again, the challenge is this: even when you collect the specimen, to get people to send it to that place is even a wahala.
Another one.
Because who is going to pay transportation of the specimen? Yeah, absolutely. Or you know, are you going to make a phone call and say that, listen, you know, I'm in a village in Lagos State. I have a phone call, come and pick the specimen. You know, so we have a whole challenge.
Can we take multivitamins to help us?
No, build your immune system. Boost your immune system. That's the first defense. That's you know, the
strengthen your immune system. Take fruits, vegetables, the whole works. Okay. Unfortunately, I have to wrap up, but I think generally you've told us we have to keep the neighborhood clean, our environment clean, and coronavirus. I read in the papers today. I think the Minister for State was saying that there was a case which they tested somebody and they sent to, is it Netherlands or South Africa to get tested, but there's no confirmed case yet, but they're still monitoring and ensuring that those who are at the borders are making sure those coming in are tested. But Soko just came in very, very recently and said she wasn't tested. So either way, we just hope and pray as we always do. That's our favorite thing. We will pray and fast. That coronavirus will not come and join Lassa fever. We're already here. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.